Hello and welcome to episode 564 of Fergo and the Freak. I'm that bloke from Rugby League Project, Andrew Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter, AndrewRLP. Join me as always is the glorious LeagueFreak, who you can also find on Twitter, @LeagueFreak. How you going there, mate?
I'm going well, Andrew. I hope our listeners are going well. It's been a while, but it's not our fault.
No, it isn't.
We did a really good episode.
Oh, that's right.
We had Johnny Liu on, and we built Lego Formula One cars, you and me, while Johnny carried us a little bit because you were pretty good at talking while you were building Lego. I went very quiet because I was concentrating. And unfortunately, when we recorded 20 minutes in, for whatever reason, the audio of Johnny stopped working. So for the next 2 hours, it's just you and me, and you can't hear Johnny. And it's like hearing one side of a phone call, unfortunately. And we tossed up putting the episode out, but it just sometimes you have an episode and it's like, it just didn't work. And we didn't want to put out something and, there'd be some people that would have enjoyed it and some people that would have said, what the fuck is this shit? And never listened again. So we didn't want to do that. And it's unfortunate because Johnny was great when he come on, and he come on at the last minute. And
quite literally the last minute. We're already in the call about to press record. And you said, you can invite him in. He might come in. And I sent him a message on Twitter. He said, yeah. And so I sent him the invite straight away. And he jumped in. It was literally within the space of a minute.
Yeah.
And then he carried us through that while we were swearing about fucking stickers and where's that fucking piece and I'm missing a piece and what step are you up to?
And it was super fun. We had heaps of fun. But
it was great.
It just didn't work. The recording didn't work. So there was that. Did we do emails on that episode or not? Because we'll have to redo those. Yeah, we did emails. Yeah.
We'll have to go over those again.
Yeah. So that's why you haven't heard from us. And then there was a little bit of life getting in the way as well for the makeup episode of that. And so that's why we haven't had an episode out for a bit.
And viruses.
Yeah. That's the life part.
All right. Yep. A few 5G upgrades.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But it's all good. It's all good. We're here and we're fired and we're ready to go.
Yeah. And I can't wait to talk about Paul Gallen versus Sonny, but not really. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, all I know is $70 to watch that fucking thing.
No way. No
70
fucking way.
70.
Why would you do that?
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't care.
I've not watched any pay-per-view boxing event or that, but I saw $70 and went, get fucked.
It was funny to see Channel 9 Media straining to try and make it seem like it was a thing. Everyone's talking about the biggest boxing match. No. It's just these two idiots.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think the result was that surprising. Everyone's saying it was a split decision and, Gallen's face got more bashed up and this sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, at the end of the day, say what you like about either of them. At least Paul Gallen occasionally fought people who knew how to throw a punch. Sonny Bill Williams, all he ever fought against was greengrocers and old taxi drivers.
Yes, he's some guy that was stacking shelves.
Some bloke doing letters at the post office and he's 64 years old.
Dude, I remember there was one guy who fought and it's going to sound like I'm going to bag the guy, right? But I'm not. They were saying the media people, Sonny Bill Williams may be the greatest athlete in the world, and he's fighting this guy, I think it was a Kiwi guy, and I'm like, no, this other guy is the greatest athlete in the world because he's willing to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to fight some guy in a big boxing match, it's the first boxing match ever, and that shit to me is more impressive than fucking Sonny Bill Williams walking through the local IGA and saying, that one, bro. Fucking ridiculous.
No, the guy with the mop. I want him.
Yeah. So funny.
So, yeah, it's the right person won. Not that there's any right person. But
yeah, it's
I'm hoping this is the end of both of their boxing careers and they both do the right thing and then quietly stop being in the media.
I want Paul Gallen's manager because he has a career where he has to talk.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing to me.
I'm wondering if the same manager is the one who's responsible for having Gordon Tallis on TV.
Well, I mean, that's like some sort of minor miracle. I don't get that at all.
Nah, I don't know. That's like one of the greatest ever lies ever told on a CV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well done to whoever got that gig for him, because my goodness, that's it.
Incredible.
Wow. So what's been going on other than the celebrity boxing?
Well, the celebrity boxing. Well, there was a little bit of news the last few days. Do you remember when I talked about what the NRL should do, and it should in England, and is basically or Europe, and is basically ignore everyone over there, start its own small competition that runs for a couple of months, call it a Rugby League Grand Prix. And we did about half hour on that sort of subject on the podcast a couple of months ago.
Yes.
Well, little did I know that somebody in rugby union is doing the exact same thing, basically. And so this competition is apparently backed by somebody in the Middle East. And their idea is to basically have what they have in IPL cricket, but they'd have teams that were representing places around the world, and they would have a draft that players would go into and stuff like that. Well, there's been a little bit of talk recently that Callum Ponga was looking at it, although today he's come out and said he's committed to the Knights till 2027.
Bad news for the Knights.
Yeah, man. I would have been saying to Callum, if I was the Knights, dude, this is an opportunity you can't let go past. But then again, they are paying Dylan Brown $14 million soon. So, and then RTS over in New Zealand, apparently he's looking to get out of his deal and go and join this competition, which if I'm the Warriors, I'm like, mate, go and do it. Like RTS isn't the player he used to, isn't anywhere near the player he used to be, you know?
No, that's right.
So I don't see that as a loss for them. But then there's a lot of generated buzz about, oh my God, this competition, it's going to take everyone's players. And of course, the rugby league media is like, they're looking at all the NRL players. I saw somebody say Nico Hines is going to be the face of their competition. I was like, if I'm the Sharks, I'm like, dude, you should take that money. You should fucking take their money. And at the end of the day, apparently rugby union authorities in Europe think it's a bit of a joke of competition. And I think
if anybody knows about jokes of competitions,
it's European rugby union and Europeans in general. But I think people are underestimating how much the next NRL TV deal is going to be and how much it's going to make our top players earn. And so I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I also think that the NRL have so much money in their coffers that they'd sort it. So I think there's a lot of media buzz about it and stuff at the moment. I think it'll die off really quickly.
It certainly will.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a little bit like that Major League Rugby Union competition in the US where it's like Tamana Tahu plays in it, you know. So
yeah, people talk about it for a week and a half and then no one hears about it ever again.
Yeah, the problem with having a competition that is too regionally, like this is one that they want to have teams that represent different parts of the world and it runs over a few weeks. The problem with that is, number one, you just have internationals. That's kind of what an international is, right? And that is going to supersede any competition like that. Number two is you don't have your normal rivalries and things like that. And so it's really hard to buy into it. Like you think about Super Rugby Union and how difficult they had to make that work. It didn't really work. Like it.
Well, especially when you've got, you know, the problem with Super Rugby is, and what you would have with this competition that's been proposed is you're not actually having players local to the team representing them. So it's hard for the people from that region to get behind them. Like, you know, you had the Brumbies team, but it would have people from Queensland and all over the place playing for them. Then you'd have, you know, in this one here, you could be having a USA team that's got a bunch of blokes from England in it. You know, it's, you can't build a bit of a fan base behind it when the majority of the team aren't going to even be representing where the team's allegedly from.
It's difficult. It's definitely difficult. But And like it'll be interesting to see if the format works, because I really do think the NRL could use that format, starting its own competition in Europe. But yeah, I think it's, it's to start a Rebel competition. Yeah, you got to have. I mean, it's a fucking lot of money, and if you've got an ungodly amount of money, you're going to have to convince somebody it's worth putting an ungodly amount of money. And they're calling it like the rugby equivalent of Live Golf. Well, Live Golf only really lasted a little bit before the PGA sort of stepped its game up, and started just chipping away at it. And now, like,
well, they merged in the end.
Yeah. So, so I don't think it's going to be a real credible thing. And on top of that, the NRL salary cap's going to go up, and our rugby league's best players are going to be earning the money that they're talking about anyway. So
yeah, that's right. Do you actually think the competition will get off the ground? Because I don't think it will.
I think it will get up off the ground, and it will be a more regionalised competition and being a worldwide sort of representative competition. And I think it'll be like an old man's home.
Yeah. So first signing, David Campese. And this could be a way for the Raiders to finally get Ricky Stewart to step down from coaching for a bit. He can go back and play rugby union.
I think, like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like a Jared Hayne is playing in it. That sort of player,
Yes.
Like their careers are over or just about to be over, and yeah, I think that's what it'll end up being.
You know, else's sporting career where they are at the moment has probably just ended. Sonny Bill Williams, he could take up a role playing that.
Yeah, he probably would. What is he, 41?
Yeah. Spring chicken.
Is he really 41?
Probably.
I just nailed that, hey?
I don't know. I've not looked it up.
Let me look it up. Sonny, where is he? Come on.
Bondi? 39. He's about to turn 40 in August.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. I was fairly far off for him then, I'm willing to say.
Well, for you.
By my standards, yeah.
Yeah, if it was me guessing, I would have said, he's probably about 31.
I'm really... It's like when I nail your age. Like, just on the button. 57.
Never missed.
So, what have you thought about rugby league? Like, we didn't do a post-origin thing.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of the origin this year.
Didn't you?
No, and it's hard to get motivated as a New South Wales fan to watch origin when you know that Laurie Daly's the coach. Because you know that it doesn't matter who he picks, he will find a way to expose the worst aspects of every single member of his team and then make all the plays go around that. He's an absolute idiot as a coach. Loved him as a player. Absolute idiot as a coach. I don't want to see him doing any coaching ever again in any sport. Just no, Laurie. You're just not, mate. You're not. I don't know what he was doing with the Blues attack or the team selections. My God, they were atrocious half the time. The team had no go forward for most of the series. I don't know why Blake Rayleigh wasn't the hooker. Kid's fucking tearing it up. And we've got this bloke just being stationary at a dummy half and a bunch of forwards struggling to make big meters. And for Game 3, when I heard that Papali was being picked, I was like, we're fucked now.
So when I saw Papali being picked, I was like, we're specials. Because I thought, you get a guy like that hasn't got great mobility anymore, you just attack him. And he didn't play huge minutes, Papali. But, we just... Robson was really bad in that third game. And the one thing that really came out for me at the end of the series, New South Wales was super disappointing. I was disgusted. I didn't even want to talk about the game, to be honest. But the fact that our representative coaching roles are not the plum coaching roles in rugby league is really interesting and something that needs to be looked at. That the best coaches in the game don't look at coaching New South Wales and Queensland and especially Australia and are like, that's the job I want. I think that says a lot, and I think it's something the ARL needs to look at, whether they've got to offer more money to the coach or they've got to just make it easier for our elite coaches to coach those teams. And I understand why some club coaches, because club coaching's so full on and so like all encompassing that it's very hard to have that job and then add another job on top of it during the season. But the Australian job should be different. That should be the job, and that it's not, I think, says a lot about the role and what is needed for the role, and I think that should be looked at.
Fully agree. And I know we've mentioned this bloke's name a lot of times before, and I think now's a good time to bring it up again. And I think Jeff Tuvey should be the Blues coach.
Yeah, why not? Why not? At least as someone with NRL coaching experience who had a decent record in the NRL.
Yeah.
But I just think it's weird that we get to the point of the season where it's State of Origin's the pinnacle, and you can argue about that if you want. But then we get like these part-time, not real coaches coaching the teams. And that's really fucking weird. Like if you said to somebody, this is the best footy you can ever watch, and they'd be like, oh, cool. Tell me about the coaches. It's like, well, one guy commentates on Channel 9. He's never had a coaching role before. And the other guy, well, he was working for some betting company and he coached before, but he got sacked and now he's back again. And they'd be like, what the fuck? And you'd be like, are these two the best two coaches in the world? Nah, they probably wouldn't rate in the top 25 if you're being generous. You know, it's a very strange situation and it needs to be looked at.
It really does.
Like no one's looking at Billy Slater for an NRL coaching role.
And they sure as shit aren't looking at Laurie Daly.
No. So, and that's weird.
It is. Yeah, and same goes for the Australian head coach role.
Yeah.
Like you could give that sort of a gig to somebody like heaven forbid, Tim Sheens or something like that. It's not going to be that all-encompassing all year round.
No.
So it would work, and the players are good enough, and the opposition is not quite strong enough for most of the occasion, except for the Pacific Islands.
Yeah. Everyone else sucks.
I mean, to be honest, Brad Fittler and Laurie Daly can co-coach the Australian team this upcoming off-season. They'll be fine.
Well, the interesting thing is that, like, representative coaching is different from NRL coaching in that you're not teaching the players something. You're just putting in a basic game plan and, you know, getting them ready for game day. And that's one of the weird things out of New South Wales camp is that for the last number of years, they've been flogging their players during their camps. And it's not really what you want to do, in my opinion. They're already the fittest dudes.
Yeah.
You don't need to they're not going to get fitter in 10 days. You're just going to wear them out before game day. You want them to be at their best. You also almost got to taper them like a swimmer or something, you know? You got 10 days to do that, which still isn't a great amount of time. And so flogging them, I don't get that.
No, it makes no season no point whatsoever in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
Basically, your head coach just has to be a good strategist more than anything else. They don't need to be trained. These guys just need to run through plays on their coaching sessions, and that's it. They don't need to be going to the gym any more than they currently do or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just really weird how that works. But, yeah, I haven't been really overly invested in Origin for a few years.
Okay.
The Blues have had the pick of the crop as far as talent goes for the last near 10 years and have returned fuck all series wins in that time. But, you know, I dare say Dave Trodden, the head of the New South Wales Rugby League, will just go and pick Daly or Fittler or some other nincompoop again, and we'll just keep plodding along with these same mediocre results all the time, and that's good enough because the money keeps coming in, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I wonder if it gets to a point where, like, they do sit down to do performance things and they say, okay, we lost the Origin series. We made, $40 million. And then that's the conversation. Like, I wonder if it comes down to something that basic.
Well, the cynic in me thinks that that's what's starting to happen because I'm not feeling this is not just personally. I don't see where the emotional investment is between the game, Origin, and the fans is anymore. It just seems like it's all marketing stuff now.
So for me, like
I don't get excited by it anymore.
So I don't get as super excited as I used to. I used to be like so focused on Origin. And look, there is a thing where, you know, as you get older, you've seen so many Origin series, so it becomes a little less special every time you add another one to it, right? But I was so filthy after the game and so disgusted. And I was like, man, I haven't felt this disgusted by a performance of a rugby league team for a long time. And I didn't even want to talk about it. Like if you had said to me, do you want to do a podcast that night, I would have been like, I don't really want to. And like, when have I ever said I don't want to do an episode? Like, it's been hours.
Right.
It's been, no, like we always want to do an episode, but something pops up and it's like, oh, I can't, you know, but I really didn't want to talk about it. And I that night, I just sort of didn't talk to anyone about anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I still have that feeling about it, but I do think that there needs to be. I think the coaching situation's one thing that feels like I don't know, not the right situation. And outside of that, like, you know, is it? I think maybe it goes for too long as well, and the fact that it fucks up the NRL season. It really fucks up the NRL season. Like, we're humming along, and then the NRL season just gets fucked for like a month and a half.
Yeah, nearly 2 months. Just fucking handbrake gets put on.
Yeah, I think that it needs maybe condensed a little bit, the coaching situation sorted out. And other than that, I think it's fine. I mean, it's selling out no matter where they play it now, and the ratings are massive.
I'd rather they just 3 weeks. Just have a bunch of rep football over 3 weeks and just have Origin at the end of every week and put international stuff on in Australia. Man, you can have anyone. You can have Malta playing Greece. You can have Italy over here playing.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the Pacific Islands could play, and you could have Origin at the end of the week. You got all the women's matches you could have as well. Do all this stuff. Bring some Super League games over if you want to. Like, do anything. Just put.
Nah, fuck Super League. They can stay in England.
Just put 3 weeks where you just put the entire NRL on hold and you just get all that rep stuff out of the way and just make it an entire rep period. And I think that would actually get people's interest in the game, because it's not just New South Wales and Queensland fans anymore. You're getting everybody involved. Hell, get some of the other states to finally start playing some interstate footy maybe.
Well, I was thinking about with this new Perth team, right? And I tweeted a couple of weeks ago, their first game should be against Melbourne. And people were like, oh, it should be North Sydney and Manly. And I'm like, no. Perth doesn't care about fucking Manly, right? Perth would be more interested in they're lining up against the Melbourne Storm. And that will be their rivalry going forward. Because the rivalries are not for how you feel in fucking a suburb in northern Sydney. It's about what people in Perth want to see. And they would rather see Melbourne versus Perth, right? That's more a natural rivalry for them. And then I was thinking, you know, a game between Western Australia, an Origin game between Western Australia and Victoria, is going to be very low level, all right? But it would still be a game that you could sell.
Yeah.
And it might be something that you put on once a year as a curtain raiser to an NRL game that's in Perth.
Yeah, I would have this as a replacement for like city versus country. And the reason why you have WA versus Victoria is because it would help with the numbers at grassroots level, because you're not going to be just, the side's not going to be filled with NRL players from all over the place. You're going to get local people in there. That's what you want to see. If people know, if they're playing some, you know, club level competition in Melbourne or Perth, that's not on the NRL level, but fuck, we might end up being on TV and playing for our state. Yeah, that helps. You can't tell me that's not a great tool for getting people involved in the sport.
Yeah,
that helps.
And just see if it works. It's not even a big investment.
God no.
So that's what I would do there.
Those are things I'd do there, and then you can just hold the NRL comp for 3 weeks. I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about 3 weeks of footy not being on.
No.
Well, NRL anyway, because it means that every club doesn't have a ton of random buys all over the place, a bunch of short rounds, and teams being without origin players for some games and not for others, and others being weaker than others, and blah 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 blah. You do away with all of that. Everyone's at the strength they can possibly, the most strongest they can possibly be for every game, which is what you want to see.
Yeah.
And everyone can have 3 weeks off in the exact right slap bang in the middle of the year. That's a good way to break the season up.
Yeah, I think that's what they're aiming for eventually. Like, I think they really do want to get back down to 22 rounds and have like a rep break in the middle. But
they're going to have to.
Yeah, you can't have this amazing competition that's humming along and then it just gets decimated because of itself for a month and a half. It's not right.
No, that's right. But we'll have this conversation again for the umpteenth time next year as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's just what happens.
Now, today, a brand new rugby league game has been released. Rugby League 26, it's called. Now, I'm a lifelong gamer. I think you are too, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's by the same studio that's always made the rugby league games. And I haven't played a rugby league game since maybe the second one that come out, and that might have been 15 years ago or something.
I can't remember. I do have all of the rugby league games thus far.
Okay.
But I haven't played them for a while.
Okay. So I haven't played it for a very long time. And it was fine for what it was at the time.
Was it the 2008 World Cup was the last one?
I think there's been a couple since then. I'm not sure. But I played before that one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, and it was all right at the time, but it was like still a pretty basic game for that time as well. But it was, passable, I guess. This game's coming out. It's available right now on all the systems, the new systems anyway. And it's $100, 100 Australian dollars. There's been no previews of it anywhere. There's been no reviews of it at this time. The only footage that was coming out was like pre-rendered stuff. There was very little gameplay footage, and that's always a red flag for me for any game when you see shit like that. It's $100. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I think that in 6 months' time you'll probably be able to get it very cheap, and I haven't seen too many people actually playing it yet. Apparently it's not working on Xbox yet properly. Probably will be by the time you're listening to this, but we'll see. If people say it's good, I'll get a copy of it and I'll do a review, a whole podcast review. But until then, I would hold your money just until you see if it's good or not. The gameplay footage I did see, it looked exactly like the game I played all those years ago. The exact same, like not graphically, but just the play style looked the exact same thing.
So I can handle if the players' faces in that part of the graphic during gameplay isn't 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If the gameplay itself is smooth, somewhat intuitive, and not overly complicated for no real reason, that more than makes up for what the graphics might be lacking.
Yeah.
But I've found with all of the games previously that they were lacking in both those departments.
Okay.
So if it's fixed up some of that somewhat in this one for the gameplay, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Not saying that it was a shit game. I didn't mind it. The only thing I found that was really weird about it and buggy about it was when you simulated matches in season mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Depending on the difficulty, depended on how absurd the scorelines would be.
Yeah.
So I remember on mine, I can't remember which one it was. If I had the setting on like the game difficulty on easy and the game length to 80 minutes, and you simulated the match, the end scoreline would be something like 86-74.
Oh Jesus!
And it'd just be doing this weird shit the whole way through. It's like, no, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
There's things like that. I remember the NBA Live games, graphics-wise, were a long way behind the 2K NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
But the gameplay I found was a lot easier, a lot more intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
But as the NBA Live games went along, the defense around the post was a lot more intense. And so it didn't matter who you're playing against. Nearly every single game, you're just resorting to shooting from out near the arc.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time it got a bit more intuitive was when you got the AI difficulty and you reduced it down, because then some players are defending in the middle, but some will peel off to go after whoever's got the ball. And you just get a little bits of breaks in there, and you can start using different offense. Mm-hmm. And sure, it's easier to win games that way, but at least it breaks up the monotony of having to do the same thing every time in offense.
Yeah. And I think that's when I played that rugby league game, there was, and I can't remember what the move was, but it was like you did the same move. There was like 2 or 3 ways to just break the line really easy. And it was like, it was spam and that sort of, those plays, and that's how you'd win games. And yeah, like just seeing the way that like in attack teams were lining up, like it was kind of weird. It was very like something you'd expect out of a very, very old game. So, but we'll see. People might say, oh, this is really good, this is great. If it is, I'll get it and I'll review it. But if it's not, I'm not going to get it.
I'll eventually get it.
Yeah.
I remember too, I did have, back when I had a PS3, someone gave me, who didn't really know me that well, they gave me the Rugby Union game, thinking that was the game I liked.
Oh, okay.
And I found the easiest way to constantly win games in that all the time was just to play Rugby League on it.
Oh, really?
It was crazy. You just kept the ball alive, kept passing the ball. And you just go left, go middle, go right, go middle, and just constantly do this. And then all of a sudden you're scoring tries every second or third set, no matter what the difficulty was. I found that was hilarious.
So I'm gonna look up Rugby League 26 game on on Twitter.
It's on the NRL shop at the moment for $89 on PS4, PS5, and Xbox.
So I'm just looking at latest. I've just gone latest, right?
Yep.
Latest one was by someone called Fear_OCE. Rugby League 26 thoughts. Why are there so many bugged fullbacks? No New South Wales Cup is a disappointment. A lot of Origin eligible players aren't listed as such. There are Kangaroos jerseys in the game, yet you can't play with the squad. It's very similar to Rugby League Live 4. Save your money for now. Jane, next one, 2 hours. Rugby League 26 is genuinely the worst sports game I've ever played. Ooh. If this game came out in 2010, it would be awful. Feels terrible. Is there a way to get a refund? I wanted to be open-minded to give it a chance, but having massive regrets, please help. And I'm just going one by one. I'm not picking any of them. Next one, Adam Bagnall. Early thoughts on Rugby League 26. I've purchased it and downloaded it to my PS5. We'll check it out after work. Graphic. Well, he hasn't played it. Okay, that's just someone that played a 30-second game. Here's Jordan Patu. Scored 2 length of the field tries with Luke Metcalf to win my first game of Rugby League 26 in Golden Point. That's pretty cool.
It's not even sounding mixed at this stage.
No one's saying this is awesome.
No, it's not exactly great.
Yeah, we'll see though. Like, gamers are generally hard to. How dare you, Andrew? I saw that. That's Andrew just sent me a picture. He's a piece of shit, this Andrew guy.
That's right.
I can think of a really good game that I would purchase immediately, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, it's we'll see, because gamers are very hard on things like that. And speaking of which, and yeah, if it's all right, even I'll buy it. But I'm not buying a game just because it's a rugby league game. I just don't need to do that, you know.
Did you read Brent Ford's one?
No, I didn't see it.
As someone who's left-footed himself, it's generally embarrassing that all left-footed players kick with their right foot.
They're multi-talented.
They are.
Yeah, that. It's interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I just wouldn't like to get it and be like, oh, this is just like the way that they set into their attacking structures was like they go back and set into a grid position. That when I saw that, I was like, ugh. That was a bit not good.
Okay, here's another one that's constructive. Faster movement across the board of players. Elite players play like they're elite. Yes, there's some bugs with players at fullback, but you can play them through the middle as usual. Championship teams are now on the game. Oh, this is for the UK.
For the UK. You know what got me too is that they promoted the fuck out of it in the UK.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really promote it much in Australia. And I was like, that's really weird.
Someone said Jackson Hastings has got an 89 rating.
What? No, there's no fucking way.
Oh, wow.
I wonder how the Super League teams are rated compared to the NRL teams, eh?
Oh, actually, I found here the top 53 player ratings.
Okay, hit me with them.
So Nathan Cleary's 93, Payne Haas 92, Dylan Edwards, Jerome Hughes, James Tedesco, Stephen Crichton, Isa Yeo, Harry Grant and Angus Crichton all got 91.
Yep.
Herbie Farnworth, Reece Walsh, Kalen Ponga, Mitch Moses, Brighton Cameron Munster, Latrell Mitchell, Appy Coruscant, Joseph Tapani, Patrick Carrigan have all got 90.
Okay, so yeah, that seems all right. I get that.
Eli Katoa, Hamasai Tabuai Fidel, Xavier Coates, Ryan Pappenhausen, Zach Lomax, Tino, Cameron Murray, Reece Robson, DCE, Luai, Hudson Young, Liam Martin all got 89. Olakawatu, your old mate Drinkwater, Tom Trebojevic, Tom Dearden, Tom Gilbert, Terrell May, and Kickow have all got 88. Dylan Lucas.
What?
Dylan Lucas, Jacob Preston, Jacob Perez, Bradman Best, Ezra Mann, Wade Egan, Mitch Barnett, Clint Gutherson, Isaiah Katoa, Cameron McInnes, Stefano Utikamanu, Adam Reynolds, Adam Fanua Blake, James Fisher Harris, and Scott Sorensen all on 87, and that's your top 53.
Okay, I can see where someone like, say, a Drinkwater, he's got a higher, his rating gets boosted by, say, his speed or acceleration. You know? So I can see players like that where it maybe looks out of skew, but when you look at their overall ratings, it's like that's a big chunk of his ratings. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I'd like to know what data is behind where the rating comes from, because it's interesting the mix there.
Yeah, I remember like years ago I was in a fantasy rugby league competition, and we had people do ratings of players, and they were very basic ratings, you know. And I was part of doing the Australian base ratings, the NRL basically players. And we had groups that would do it. So there was like 4 or 5 people do the NRL players, and then 4 or 5 would do the English ratings. And so we did the NRL team ratings and did them. Really happy with them. We all checked each other's work. And there wasn't, I think maybe Andrew Johns was as close to the perfect player at the time, you know. Mm-hmm. Then we got the Super League player ratings, and fucking like Kieran Cunningham, perfect. Like there was just all of these English players that had these ridiculously high ratings, where like they were probably the top 25 players in the comp, and we had to adjust everything. So we had to do this thing where we had to bring all of their ratings down by like 2 or 3 points, and it was still a season where those players were so ridiculously overrated. It was just a quirk of that season. So it's weird. It's hard to do the things subjectively like that.
Yeah. It does look like they've added a bit more to it than previous ones.
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to add some of the the stuff that some of the features they've got in FIFA games to it, which will work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Yeah. We'll stick with the reviews over the next few days to see what people are saying about it. It's not all horrible at this stage.
Oh, that's good. But I hope it's awesome. I hope we end up both getting it, and we'll be able to play one another. Hey.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
What have you got? What's your one? A PlayStation 4?
I got a PS4. Yeah, I got a 4.
Got a PS4. Is it on 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I'd be able to play a PS5 versus PS4.
Good question.
We'd have to work that out.
Yeah.
But if we can play one another, we will. Because that'd be a good, fun live podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of silence.
Be like building Lego again.
Yeah.
But with more swearing and less tears.
Oh, far out.
I was going to say, I had a bit of a told you so, not to you, but to the rugby league listeners out there, and probably even the Sharks.
Yeah.
On the weekend, I watched the Sharks game.
Yes.
And the two things I've been saying all year, not just on here, but even some of the articles that I write for some preview websites and stuff like that, I've been saying two things about the Sharks all year, and that is Blake Brayley needs to run more from dummy half, because when he does, that Sharks forward pack gets on a massive roll on, and they are so hard to stop when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Nico Hines needs to be a ball runner, not a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
And on the weekend, we got to see both of those.
Yep.
Brayley ran for over 100 metres, and Hines was running first and passing second, and both looked so much better. I mean, Brayley's been playing great all year anyway, and has been for a while, but he looks so much better when he's running from dummy half as often as he can. There was a try near the end of the match, which the commentators absolutely gave Hines all the credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, there was a fair bit he had to do, but all the lead-up work was done from a great little dart from dummy half by Brayley, where he saw two defenders standing really close to each other on the goal line on the right-hand side. And he goes up to the play of the ball and does what nearly every hooker does. Goes up there, positions himself to pass left, picks the ball up, goes right. He doesn't run at the two defenders standing next to each other. Just pass them to draw the third defender across.
Mm-hmm.
And just as he makes that move to go that direction, Hines has finally picked up on it, and he starts to swing around. And Brayley drags in that third defender. So he's now got three defenders standing there in front of him for a hooker. And he just gets a casual, easy ball out to Hines, and Hines just hits the gap, holds it out nicely to keep the outside defenders outside, and hits the gap and runs through and scores. Just brilliant.
Yeah, and it was weird because, like, Brayley was on fire. He was the man of the match, I thought. And, the Sharks are in such poor form. And, they're in ninth on the ladder, which is crazy. They weren't touched by Origin. And they really have to start getting on a roll from this point on. And it felt like maybe that was a game where they were finally on the front foot a little bit, at least.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can carry that forward. Big game this weekend against the Roosters, between the Sharks and the Roosters, because the Roosters are in 8th, Sharks are in 9th. So they're going to add points on each other or take points away from each other. But the Sharks need to win this game. They just need to win this game.
The Sharks have got a pretty damn good run home too. This game is going to be, not this game, next week. They play at Gosford, I think. But all their games from here on in are in Sydney, except for next week's one at Gosford.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the Roosters this week. Then they've got South, Cowboys, Dragons, Titans, a bye, the Knights, and then the Bulldogs at the end.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They need to be looking at that and going, right, there's only one loss there potentially, and that's the last round.
It's interesting how it's going to be the team that blinks that misses a final. Like, we're going to have a couple of good teams miss the finals. Like, if the Dolphins and Sharks miss the finals, they're two good teams,
The Dolphins is an interesting one because their attack has been so untouchable for the last month. But losing Nicarima on the left side, man, that hurt them so much. And we saw it against the Sharks last week. They just every time they went left, it's like, oh, that's right, that stuff that you happened out there all the time, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
and they were lost. What do we do? They've got Tabuai Fidau coming back this week. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he gets parked on the left side an awful lot to try and fix that problem of not having Nicarima there, because he's been playing great. And that might be enough to get their attack working properly again. Their defense is still really good, which has been a problem for them for their history so far. So I still think they've still got the potential to be a very strong side. Who have they got coming up? They've got the Cowboys this week, and then they've got a bye. Then they've got Warriors, Roosters, Brisbane, Manly, Titans, and Canberra. And they're playing most of those games in Brisbane. So their run's not horrible either.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. The thing that gets me is this week the Panthers resting Isaiah Yeo and Nathan Cleary. And I know it's against Souths, who are a bit down on troops themselves, but it's a risk. It's a real risk. I just think this point of the year, where with how close all them teams are, you can't afford to drop points at all. And, for the Panthers to do that, they're either really confident for whatever reason, or it's just a massive risk. I wouldn't have taken it.
Especially given the Panthers haven't really hit any sort of convincing form yet.
No, they've shown that. I think they've been getting by on their experience of how to win a game. It
100%.
A habit.
They have, because they've been struggling to put away teams they should be doing easy. Parramatta and the Tigers 2 weeks in a row. And that Panthers team couldn't even put on 20 points in either of those games and conceded 2 tries on both occasions.
Yeah.
It just seems weird that they're struggling against teams that they should be able to put away. It doesn't matter what sort of form the Tigers are in. There are so many young players, so much inexperience, and coming from so far back to start with, that this Panthers team should be able to put 30 on that Tigers side as many times as they want.
Having said that, I think there's a lot of teams like that in the NRL at the moment. The Storm are having games where they're just pedestrian. They're you expect the Storm to go out and smash some of these teams they're playing against, and they make it hard for themselves.
Their defense has been a bit messy for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
Since they belted the Tigers by 60 odd, they've struggled with having a consistent defense. And then when they do get the defense right, their attack seems to struggle later on. And they're just sort of, they do 8 things right, and then they'll do 2 things wrong, and it kind of all gets undone, and they've got to start all over again. And it's just this constant back and forth, and it's still this clunky looking mess.
Yeah, they're not the well-oiled machine you're used to seeing. And the Bulldogs have had some weird results, and the Warriors, they've lost Metcalf for the season, so they're in a world of hurt right now. The Raiders, I've got zero faith in. I just write them off immediately. And the Broncos at times this year have looked terrible, and then other times look great. And so it's a very wide open competition, I think. I don't think the Roosters or the Sharks have any chance of winning the title. I don't think that, obviously, the Dolphins, I think they're out of it as well. But just all of the other teams that are in the top 8, I just think there's so many holes that are there for teams, and nobody really looks like they're humming along all that well. Even the Raiders, they've made it hard for themselves in a number of games as well. And that's the thing that gets me with the Panthers is I think at some point, and this will happen with the Storm as well, it's just winning being a habit will kick in against some of these finals teams. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen, but who knows?
Yeah, it's always been the case, hasn't it? We've never really been 100% confident about what's going on until we get to the final, say, 4 or 5 rounds of the season. So we've got 3 weeks here of teams sorting their shit out, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. The weird thing for me is the Bulldogs just fucking around with their halves at this point of the year. Like, leading the competition and your halves finally settled. Finally, you settled on them, Burton and Sexton. And it's working all right. And I know they're not setting the world on fire, but it's working well enough that you're at the top of the ladder. They bring in Galvin and they just fuck with it. They just fuck with the whole thing. And he's in the side. He's out of the side. Now he's playing at halfback. Now he's in, and it's crazy. It is fucking insane to me that they're doing all this.
So here's what I think, okay? Based on the form this year, Sexton is a better halfback than Galvin.
Yep.
Burton is a steadier and more reliable 5'8" than Galvin.
Yes.
I'd say Galvin's got a better pass selection and he's got a more varied kicking game than Burton. Obviously, Burton's long kicking game shits all over Galvin's.
Mm-hmm.
I think Burton, though, is a smarter ball runner because he picks his moments to run far better than Galvin does. Galvin will choose to run more frequently, which is also not a bad thing. But so there's some subtle differences, but you can work with either at 5'8" at this stage. But it feels like at the moment they want to go with Galvin at halfback.
Mm.
And it's just wrong. He doesn't have that mastery or control of the side. He's a 5'8", a genuine 5'8".
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Burton. I mean, they've tried to play Burton at halfback at times at the Bulldogs, and he's not a halfback. He's 5'8". And if you had to choose between Burton and Galvin right now, who you want as your 5'8" in your team, I'd be surprised if anyone picked Galvin over Burton. I think if they picked Galvin over Burton, it'd be stupid. Especially once we get into the finals, and it's going to be a case of like your experience and your defense and stuff is, very important, and you'd want Burton in that situation too. So, but yeah, messing with your halves this close out from the finals when you're going good, to me is complete fucking madness. And I think it's been pushed on Cameron Ciraldo. I think when he dropped Galvin last week, it was a good move. And I think he's been forced to select him this week.
I'd be tempted. I'm not saying this is a long-term solution, but I can't see any other workaround at this stage, is that if they want to have Galvin in the side, he's going to have to be 5'8".
Yeah.
But they need Sexton and halfback because they don't have another half that can do that work. And possibly think about putting Burton, if not at centre. I know the centres are pretty good when they've got Crichton and Cherry both on the field fit. But if he can't find a spot there, maybe he needs to go to fullback.
And this is what happens when you treat your team like a fantasy rugby league team.
Exactly right.
Especially when it's set. Like their team was set. And I understand wanting to get somebody for the future. I totally get that, right? But when your team is set and you just throw a fucking hand grenade into the mix, it's not going to be good.
No.
And I guarantee you Galvin was not happy being fucking dropped last week. I think has a lot to do with him being back. I guarantee Sexton is not happy about being dropped this week. It's just not a good situation, and it was created by the club itself. That's what gets me.
Yeah, it's self-inflicted.
Looking next year, what do? Do you still have Burton at 5'8" and Galvin at halfback? I just don't get it.
If you put Galvin at halfback, which might be what their long-term plan is, you take away the great strength that made them want to buy him in the first place, and that was his ball running game.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with having, basically you're just going to end up having Nico Hines, but a 20-year-old version of him there.
Yeah, it's silly. And, you're going to next year and you got to choose between Burton and Galvin. And so now you've got this problem in your team. And I just think that when things are running good, you don't mess with it. I know they're not running perfectly, but it's a progression from the Bulldogs of going from being absolutely atrocious to now where they started this season and they were pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
And being pretty good this year is pretty good. We've seen it. So
it's needs that.
Yeah. So I just think what they're doing is fucking madness. And if they brought a player in and they didn't have a plan to do something with him this year, maybe they should have waited till next year. And, we've seen this before.
They should have just let Parramatta pay overs for him. Push it up. Just say to Parra, look, you can have him. This is how much we've put on the table for him. But if you put out a better offer, he's all yours. And then, pick up whatever Parramatta player you want in the end to help them make the cap space. So to make shit work. That's what smart clubs do.
Mm-hmm.
You try and force an opponent to take a player off their books that you want. That's how you would have done it. But instead, they jacked up his price and then they bought him.
Yeah. And you know what's hilarious? The best footballing situation in the entire game right now for Lachlan Galvin is the West Tigers.
Yeah.
That's the best footballing situation for him. I know he didn't want to be there. I get it. I know he wanted other things. But from a pure football standing, that's the best situation for him.
Yep.
Crazy. And another one, the Roosters.
The Roosters?
Right? So they're in 8th place, which is way above what I thought they'd be. And they've made hay while the sun shines with some teams that aren't playing great, and like the Sharks, they're one of them. So their halves situation was a bit of a mess to start the year, but they settled eventually. They started winning some games, and now they've brought in Sam Walker back from injury, and I understand that to an extent, but then they've brought in Townsend next to him. And so now their halves are completely different again. And Sam Walker, I know he's got skill, but he's just not big enough. He just gets bashed. And even in that first game, he got smashed up coming back from injury. And I think it's crazy to be changing your halves at this point of the season if you don't have to. Like, I think what the Panthers are doing is fucking crazy too, resting Cleary. I really think that's crazy. But the Bulldogs and the Roosters in particular, to get to this point of the season and be playing silly buggers with your halves going forward, I can't believe it. It is insane.
I think it's crazy more on the Rooster side because they started getting some consistency with their attack with Savala and Smith in the halves.
Yeah, and it just was working.
Yeah, and it wasn't one-dimensional.
No.
They're two very calm but very, very, very talented ball players, and it was starting to work. You look at some of the scores they were starting to post. After getting that shitty start, they put 46 on the Dragons, 36 on the Dolphins, 20 on the Bulldogs when the Bulldogs were undefeated. 42 on the Sharks, 24 on the Raiders, who were second on the ladder. 42 on the Cowboys, 28 on the Tigers. They lost to the Tigers. 31 last week on the Dragons. Scoring points has not been a problem for the Roosters side.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring in Chad Townsend. And they're bringing him in against the Cronulla Sharks, who a little bit down on form. But if you're going to go into a game against Cronulla, a Cronulla side that their forwards are still performing well. They're still making those big meters that they need to make. The problem has been execution. But if you're going to start bringing in, you're going to start fucking around with your halves with a Sharks team that's struggling to execute on plays, all you're going to do is give Cronulla a ton of opportunities to get down there and practice plenty of plays until they get it right and start putting points on. And that's the risk they're going to be running here.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I can understand that the idea might have been at one point, look, we'll have Walker in halves and Townsend next to him, which I don't think that's a good plan to begin with. No. But if that was their plan to begin with, I get wanting to go back to that plan now. But if something's working, just stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why they've gone to the Townsend thing. He hasn't played since round 5.
Yeah. Now they're coming into a must-win game with one guy that hasn't played since round 5 and another guy who's 2 weeks back from having a year off because of an ACL injury. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I don't understand it at all.
No.
But Long may it continue, and hopefully the Roosters fall down far enough for the Tigers to jump and get into ninth.
Yeah, imagine that. That'd be cool.
That would be sweet.
Have we heard anything about Jerome Luai and his clause in his contract?
Nothing's been said all year. I think Luai has actually come out and said he's not going to say anything about it until the end of the year, but at this stage he's fully committed to the club. I don't see him leaving anytime soon. I posted some stats the other day about the Tigers after 16 games this year compared to previous years.
Mm-hmm.
And as is the norm for the West Tigers fan base, people will come out and they'll say, "Oh, don't go making excuses for another." They'll say, "Yeah, thank you. This is the sort of content we need." So I said, after 17 games this year versus last year, the Tigers in 2025 have had 2 wins more, 2 losses less. They're 3 places higher on the ladder. They've scored 41 points more and conceded 60 points less. That's a points difference improvement of 101 points.
Yeah, that's great.
And I said, if they improve by this same amount at the same time next year, they'll have 8 wins, 9 losses. Their points difference will be -1, and they'll be sitting around 11th based on the ladder at the moment, and 1 win out of the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how much of a leap of improvement there's been, even though they've only got 6 wins. They've got 6 wins, but there's still a ton of extra time to get more wins for the season.
Yeah.
Whereas last year or the last 3 years, it was like 4 wins is all they got each year. I did post up some stats, though, for all the teams.
Yeah.
And this is after they've all played 16 games, so this basically makes it the 2/3 point of the season.
Okay.
And there's 3 teams that have improved in wins, losses, for and against.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So Canberra's got 6 wins more, 6 wins less. They've scored 120 points more and conceded 77 points less.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors have 4 wins more, 3 wins less because they had a draw last year.
Yeah, 3 losses less, you mean?
3 losses less, yeah. They've scored 11 points more and they've conceded 51 points less.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tigers, 2 wins more, 2 losses less. What was it? 33 points more scored and 36 points less conceded. So the data I gave before was the week after.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're the 3 teams that have improved in every department this year. Only 3.
That's interesting, hey?
There's been 5 teams that have gone backwards in all of those same fields.
It feels like it too.
Yeah.
It feels like it too.
So without going into details, it's the Sharks, the Titans, the Cowboys, the Panthers, obviously, and the Roosters.
Far out, eh? It's been such an interesting season. Like, you can tune in and not know who is going to win any game. It can just be completely different to what you expected. I've loved it. I think it's great.
It has been pretty interesting. The changes that have happened so far, they're all a bit sort of over the shop. But to know that there's only been 3 teams that have generally improved on last year everywhere, and 5 that have gone backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you look at the ones that have gone backwards, most of them are still in contention of the finals. The Sharks, the Cowboys aren't out of it yet. Penrith are back into the 8. The Roosters are still sitting on the edge of the 8. The Titans are the only ones that have gone backwards from being already bad to going further worse.
Yeah. That's why I tend to think that when we get to the finals, like with everything being so scrambled as it is, what do you go back to? And it's like, that's where I go back to winning experience, and some teams just know how to get the win when it matters.
Absolutely, they do.
Should we do some emails?
Yeah, we should. We've got to do those ones from last week as well.
Okay, so I'm going back a fair way now. What's this from? This from the 7th of the 6th. Or the 6th of the 7th. Who knows? It's fucking Americans. This from Sam. His subject is Argentina. Why have Japan and, more importantly, Argentina not been targeted for rugby league?
How so?
Just like, I guess, like, they're 2 places that, rugby union has some sort of presence in, and why isn't rugby league ever? really gone to that pool.
Argentina has an international team.
Yeah, but we don't really. I mean, have we ever had a big international in Argentina?
Well, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would we?
I don't know. So it's a market.
Are we talking about we think we should be competing where the rugby union market is?
I guess that's the idea.
Right, okay.
I think one of the things with Argentina is their economy has been absolutely terrible, so there's probably been no money there to go and get. And when
I don't think they've actually been able to play outside of South America yet at all either, so that's probably part of the problem.
Japan, look.
They've also got a rugby league team, but their rugby union competition it's been growing from strength to strength on the back of a lot of money for quite a long time. And
it's not a normal sporting competition like we think of clubs. They're corporation teams that were set up by expats who's had this corporate sort of competition through companies, and then they would bring in guests from and they would pay them a lot of money so that they would have these players in these teams, and it's not really a natural sporting competition like we think of.
No, that's right. And plus, the other thing too, whether we like them or not, the International Rugby Union does spend a lot more time and money, I think, into the international game than the International Rugby League does in rugby league.
Yeah.
And I think they've got a bit more authority and a bit more widely respected within their own sporting community amongst all the other sporting nations.
Yeah.
Than the International Rugby League is.
Who is, just in my opinion, complete fucking dog shit that no one takes seriously because they're run by idiots.
I was going to say passive.
Yeah, that's a different way to put it.
They feel a lot more passive.
I'm going to stick with dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick your poison there, people.
Yeah. Remember when they said they were going to change so many things so that they could get rugby league into the Commonwealth Games and then the Olympics? Gone.
Yeah, so that was on the back of trying to get the Sport Accord to recognise that rugby league was a separate sport to rugby union.
Spent a lot of time doing that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't exist anymore.
Well, yeah, the Sport Accord shut down or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But at least we've got Rugby League Nines to... Oh, no, they didn't do that again. It's all right. We always have the 2021 World Cup. Oh, no, that had to be put on hold. Or forced to be put on hold.
Why?
But it's okay, because we've got the Rugby League World Cup's going to be played in France. Oh, no, it's not.
Here's something that could be done, right?
Yeah.
We do have the Olympics coming up in Brisbane in, what is it, a decade's time?
2032. It's not even a decade now.
There you go. The host nation is allowed to determine, they're allowed to have a sport of their choosing.
What do you reckon they'll choose if they haven't chosen it already?
It should be. This is the opportunity. It's Queensland.
Yeah.
Fucking rugby league. That's what you're going to do. You know what they'll pick? They'll pick fucking disc golf or some horse shit.
Yeah. Ultimate frisbee.
Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
But that's what it should be. Make it rugby league there. And don't fuck around with nines either. Make a proper 13-a-side shit.
Imagine that. What if they went to the NRL and said, hey, listen, we want to have a proper rugby league competition. But it's going to, when it was probably going to be in August, right? So around that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2000 was in August. What if they said, we need you to give us the players for 6 weeks? Like the Olympics only goes for 2, though. I don't think you could do it full competition.
Yeah, you could.
You'd have to have giant squads. You could do that.
It'd be a piece of piss.
If you had giant squads and it was a pure knockout comp?
Yeah, it'll all be knockout. Mate,
I'm on board.
Actually, you know what? Have pools.
Yeah.
But you don't have 2 or 3 teams from each pool going through. It's just the top team on every pool goes through to knockout finals. Because you're not going to have 100 fucking nations either. There's only going to be about maybe 40 countries or it might be 50 countries involved. You have 4 teams in each group. You got 12 teams going through to a final, something like that. And you just go bang, 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 bang.
If the NRL was offered that, I think they should take it.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. Cool. Have a short season and have the Olympics on at the end.
Or even have a break in the season. It's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Have a 3-week break. You got a week leading up to it. I think that'd be cool. But another email here from James. Sporkle. Who? Have you ever heard of Sporkle?
Sporkle.
Yeah.
Is that the little thing that's kind of half fork, half spoon?
Isn't that a spork?
Is this a spork? What's the? Oh, it's sparkles. Maybe it's a sparkling spork.
You got spork and you got a Fred. Have you ever heard of a Fred?
A Fred.
Yeah, a Fred is it's a eating device they have in the Australian Army. Probably have it in other armies too. And it was described to me as being called a Fred, and it was a fucking ridiculous eating device. Anyway,
nice.
Hey Fergo and Freaky. Do you sporkle? It depends if I'm being paid to do it. Have you tried any of the rugby league quizzes on sporkle.com?
No.
Is this a fucking advert, James?
I've not. Look, I'll do a Google search. What the fuck is Sporkle?
Sporkle. Spell it for me.
I'm going to guess.
How do you spell it?
I typed it with a Sporkle, but apparently it's got a C in it.
It's a C. It's a C, yeah.
All right, let's have a look on here. If there's a short one, we'll give it a crack.
Anyway, he says, any chance of a Fergo and Freak or Rugby League project throwing up a few quizzes? Good news. There's no plethora of diabolical pre-World War II Rugby League quizzes online, so there is a gap in the market. How dare he? How dare he target us like that, James? Fucking hell, man.
Okay, this one here says, can you name the teams of the National Rugby League in Australia?
Ooh, that's going to be difficult. Western Suburbs Magpies.
How does this work? First year. Oh, okay. So it tells you what year they started, and you've got to type in the names, do you?
Okay.
Right. Play quiz. What's this for? First one? Team, 1988. Brisbane?
Could be Newcastle.
It's not telling me where the name goes. Well, this is stupid. I hate it already. I'll just tell the answers. 1988, it's either going to be Newcastle or Brisbane. 82 will be Canberra or Illawarra. 35, Canterbury. 67, Penrith or Cronulla. 2023, Dolphins. 2007, Titans. 1947, Manly or Para. 1998, fuck me, who isn't? 98. Melbourne. That'll do.
98, Melbourne, yeah.
1995, North Queensland, South Queensland, Warriors, Western Reds. Another 88 team. Oh, that could also be the old Gold Coast team.
Gold Coast Giants.
95, we just went through that. 47, Parramatta or Manly.
Yep.
67 already done. 08, South, East, Balmain, West, North, Cumberland, Newcastle, Newtown, Glebe. 1999, the Dragons.
Yes, St George Illawarra.
Done.
Sorted.
I've done it. The counter started at 5 minutes, and it's currently sitting at 3:50.
We could do one though.
Oh yeah, if I'm doing one, I'm making it so ridiculously fucking hard. No one gets anything right.
We could do a rugby league one. We could do a rugby league one, then a podcast one.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
A podcast one would be funny. Like, what does dolphin milk taste like?
Exactly.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, and we won't give you multiple choice answers. It's just going to have a text box.
Yeah. That's funny.
We'll mark your answers afterwards.
What else you could do? What animals wouldn't League Freak eat?
We could have one saying
none.
Rugby league players named Jordan.
Yeah. Who does Matt Daylight play for?
Oh, man. I just had a look on my website here. There's so many players whose first name or surname is Jordan.
Yeah.
That's absurd. Stop naming your kids Jordan.
I know, right?
What's wrong with Andrew? It's a great classic name. Always good.
Yeah, or the Glorious.
The
Looks great.
It does.
Okay, next email. It's from Glenn.
Not Glenn.
We've actually... Well, Glenn says some controversial things.
He's got a problem with the Sharks.
He really does, and Paul Gallen.
Yeah.
He said some things about Paul Gallen that I can't repeat.
No, unsavoury is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Gal's next opponent. What's Glenn got to say?
I have so many replies to that.
That's why I thought I better shuffle this one along.
So, Glenn, subject Formula One. Obviously, we're a Formula One podcast.
Naturally.
G'day, Fergo and Freak. Thanks for answering my question last week, which was about 3 weeks ago now. Never realised for and against didn't come into the ladder until the 1990s. I was the same. I didn't know that.
I do remember this time because I remember answering this in some detail in the episode with Johnny Lou, didn't I?
Yeah.
Should I do that rant again now? It wasn't a rant.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So for and against was actually officially brought in, I think it was 1992. But it had been used previously in the past. And it was used for things like determining which team would play which in the finals, perhaps. But one major reason, one major time we've found it, which is still causing contention today, was in 1908. Because there's still some uncertainty over which team won the wooden spoon that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I found in Sean Fagan's marvellous book that at the end of the 9th round, so 1908 has 10 rounds, the end of the 9th round, what they did is they took the top 8 teams, and those 8 teams would advance to the final 10th round of the year, and then they'd play the finals after that. And Cumberland didn't play in that round. Western Suburbs and Cumberland were both on the same competition points at the time. And he said in his book that for and against was used then to determine who was last and who missed out on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been around for a while.
It's interesting. Okay, I just thought it was part of the game the whole time. So yeah, it shocked me when I found that out.
You know, we've been trying to figure it out for years as to how they determined that, you know, South was second on the ladder and East were third, even though they're both on the same points, and East might have had a better points difference.
We need more coin flips in rugby league.
Yes.
That's how they determine the NBA draft a couple of times.
It's still part of the rules in the NRL.
Yeah.
So if at the moment, right, and I kid you not, if 2 teams are equal on for and against, so points difference and competition points, and their for and against is also the same, it goes to, I think, tries scored. And if that's both the same, it goes to tries conceded. And if that's both the same, it then goes to a coin toss to determine who goes up.
That would have to be
That's basically giving in at that stage.
Yeah, that would have to be like a televised event. Hey, can you imagine that? Like, let's say it's Sharks versus Roosters coin toss for that last place, right? Your Sharks put up a representative, say it's Nico Hines, right? I wouldn't do Nico Hines, but say it's Nico Hines, and then the Roosters put forward like I don't know, James Tedesco. You have a slightly larger coin than normal, but it's got and it'd have to be like coloured one side compared to the other. So you got, you know, light blue one side and I guess France's colours the other side.
Hey, just before you go on, would both players have to turn up, even though it's just a coin toss?
Yes.
And one of them is going to be eliminated, possibly.
Yeah.
Do they still both have to turn up in their full sporting gear like they do whenever they do an ad for Foxtel or 9 News?
Yes. Yes, they do. And then, like, they've got, like, a studio with, like, lights that beam down from the roof down onto the coin tossing area.
We need the spider cam thing up the top.
Yeah, spider cam running across.
The drones were flying around.
You get, I don't know who they'd get these. They'd get that fucking idiot that wears the tight pants on that Today Show to do it. But I would get Todd Woodbridge to do it from that because he's used to coin shows. I don't know if you've ever seen the coin dropping show on Channel 9.
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
What's it called? Tipping Point. That's it.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, you just have him do the coin toss, and someone's season's over. That'd be fucking awesome.
It'd be great if it lands, and it lands sort of like on the crack of the ground and hasn't quite fallen on one side or not, and they have to get the bunker involved.
Mm-hmm.
We need that on hold as well to see which side of the coin is facing more upwards and determine the angle. Is it leaning more left than right? And if so, is that heads that's facing more up and down?
I feel like that would go to court. But it would be such a cool moment. Have that Monday night. I wonder how many viewers that would get on Channel 9.
I wonder how much gambling would be spending money on that.
Man, can you imagine?
All those betting websites would be going, are you kidding me? We get to do gambling on a coin toss? Fuck yes.
And then there's like you think about like the conspiracies, like they put more blue paint on this side so it would fall down and the other team would win and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like Todd Woodbridge is a fucking Sharks supporter. What the fuck? Like things like that.
Go on about the humidity in the air and how it would favour one side of the coin more than the other.
There's a fucking magnet under the ground. I actually do that when that coin show's on. There's a fucking magnet in the machine. I do watch that show sometimes.
Yeah, in order to do away with all that drama, they'd end up having to do the coin toss in space.
Yeah, they have to do it in a vacuum.
That way they can make it last for a full 45 minutes and make a TV show out of it. Still spinning. Yeah. Still spinning.
They toss it up in the air, and as it's still in the air, they go, "We'll be back after Peter Overton gives the news update."
But they'll leave it like picture in picture so you can still see that it hasn't been tampered with.
Yeah.
We stole that.
I think on that coin show, right, when there's coins hanging on the edge and it's right at the end of the show, you should be able to pay $1,000 to have a fat person come out and just hip the machine. Like, and it always be a celebrity.
This is an idea.
Like, imagine, like, you get to pick your celebrity, and it's like, I'll pay 1,200 coins for George Rose. Yeah. Like, and he comes out, boom. It's like, you won another 1,800. Anyway, that went off the rails.
It was glorious.
On Formula One, this is still Glenn, right?
Yep.
Surprised he hasn't brought up Paul Gallen yet, or the Sharks.
It's coming.
Yeah. On Formula One and wildlife, Pierre Gasly hit a rabbit at Imola last year, but I had to do some research on this one, and I could remember something happening in the past. I found the information I was looking for back in 1987, and it wasn't hit, thankfully. The Australian Grand Prix, Stefan Johansson nearly hit a deer.
I think you mentioned that once before. You didn't know who the driver was, but you remember seeing a deer got hit.
Oh, the Austrian, I mean, not Australian.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember this. So it was. I remember looking this up. I'm just trying to find where I wrote it.
I think we had
Jenson Button hit a bird in South Africa in 2000.
Yep.
The bird was killed instantly, so therefore Jenson Button's a murderer. Should probably have his title stripped from him, to be honest.
Yep, but he was looking after his tyres at the
time. Anthony Davidson hit a groundhog in Canada in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
In a GP2 race in Turkey, Bruno Senna hit a dog on the track.
Ugh.
The dog was killed.
Jesus.
Romain Grosjean hit a squirrel in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Fernando Alonso hit a lizard in 2023 at Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Gasly hit a rabbit in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton hit a groundhog last year at Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Max Verstappen hit a bird in 2023 in Canada. I mean, at this stage, we should just stop having races in Canada because all they do is you're just killing animals at this stage.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. And apparently Yuki Tsunoda hit a cat at the Mexican Grand Prix in 2023. I don't remember that one.
God. Jesus.
And I remember there was some wild creatures that were on the track at Silverstone several years ago protesting about something that almost got hit by F1 cars.
I remember there was a leprechaun at Silverstone as well.
Was he a lucky one?
No, he got tackled by a marshal. So here's an email from James. The subject is Wayne Bennett. Fergo and the Freak is back. James is back. This was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember this one too from the aborted podcast that we had.
A bit of Wayne Bennett talk has cropped up in the navel-gazing media outlets and has got me thinking, will Wayne Bennett coach 1,000 games of New South Wales Rugby League /ARL/Super League/NRL? I hope he does. My prediction, he will go close but not get over the 1,000 barrier. Cheers, James. Now, first of all, that's a good question, James.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, in my opinion, Andrew, he has not already done this. But you go ahead with something.
No, he's already gone past 1,100 if you include all of his Brisbane Rugby League competition stuff.
But we don't.
Yeah, because I don't know why.
There's 2 reasons,
okay.
right?
Okay.
Number 1, it wasn't the top competition. And number 2, fuck Queensland.
Number 2, I can understand.
Yeah.
How many does he need at this stage? 47 games.
Oh, he'll get there for sure.
Because he had, at this stage, I don't know if it's accurate or assumed or what it is, but 170 games in the Brisbane competition.
Yeah.
So I legit think the Queensland stuff should be included, and I'll be making sure that I'll try and make that as well known as possible once I get through adding all of that data into the Rugby League Project website.
I'm going to campaign against you.
Good luck.
I got fucking minions, bruh. I got the unstable internet on my side.
Because see, I would argue that as much as there's genuinely an argument to be made on both sides here, and that is, for much of its existence, the Brisbane Rugby League competition was inferior to the New South Wales Rugby League. But by the time the late 70s and 80s came around, the Brisbane Rugby League competition probably had more talent and better quality games than the New South Wales Rugby League did.
And where did that talent end up going to?
Well, there's a reason why the New South Wales Rugby League decided to get a Brisbane Broncos team in the comp and a Gold Coast Seagulls one team in the comp. Suck all of that talent out of the Brisbane comp, having the New South Wales one. But yeah, I don't know. I think any team that's got Wally Lewis in it, any comp that's got Wally Lewis in it at club level, can't be seen as being a crap game.
No, that's true. That's true.
I know it's true.
That's true. Just a shame it was lower level. That's all.
I mean, yeah, you can make that false statement.
How dare you? Only the 2 states had played one another.
Well, yeah. Who was winning all the Origins back in those days?
I think the important thing is that I'm right.
Yes, on the arguments when I agree with you.
So I think they're all the emails we had to catch up on, which is good.
Yeah.
Because we had like nearly a month's worth of them.
That's right.
So if you've got an email to send us, right, just go to podcast@leaguefreak.com. Just send it straight from your email, podcast@leaguefreak.com. Ask us anything. Ask us anything you want at all. We'll answer it. We'll fix your problems. We'll give you tax advice.
Fucking oath we will. It's interesting because we say this every time and people still feel compelled to send us rugby league stuff, which is still great.
Yeah.
It's good to know, though, that people started asking us Formula One stuff.
Yep.
That's good.
It'd be funny if we got an email next week and it was like, do you realise that we understand the advice you would give us is so bad that we will never ask you anything other than rugby league shit?
Would it not be funny, though?
It would be hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. It would be brilliant. I think it's time that people start asking us all sorts of stuff.
If you need career advice, we'll give that.
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. what else has been going on in rugby league? I'm trying to think if we've got everything.
Okay, well, there was talk that Dylan Brown might be getting released early to go to Newcastle. There was talk that Kalen Ponga might be leaving.
Yep.
I know we touched on these ones already. What else was there?
Yeah. Well, the Dylan Brown thing is interesting because they had him playing hooker last week against Penrith and it didn't quite work.
Stupid.
And then so bad. And then they put him on the bench and that was it. Mm-hmm. And now they've dropped him to 18th man because they want to focus on the future. And I get that. And it doesn't make a huge difference to their team. Like, he's an all right player, but he's not like a huge difference maker.
Mate, he ain't $1.4 million a year either.
I know. And Newcastle is going to pay him $14 million all up. And he's the 18th man for the Parramatta Eels.
It's nuts.
It's so crazy.
I heard talk that the Knights coach is getting the ass. Is that true?
They were going to, and then I think they've given him till the end of the year.
Stockholm Syndrome has sunk in.
I know. It's crazy. We don't have enough data at this point. And then Des Hasler, they were going to sack him, but then it was his 500th game this week, and so they're going to let him coach it.
Yeah, get him to rack up a big loss on his big day.
Yeah. Kieran Foran announced he's retiring at the end of the year, and everyone from 2019 onwards said, Kieran Foran still plays? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else that really jumps out at me. I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing really happening in England that's worth talking about. There's been no international news. That's about it.
That's about it.
We've been so thorough, hey?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That is.
If anyone wants to see the Formula One cars that we built, just go to the Instagram account. Go to instagram.com/FergoFreakPod. And Nadine put them up for us, so that was very nice of her.
It's also worth noting that we did these completely independent of one another. We started at the same time.
Yeah.
But there was no videos. We're not watching each other. And we weren't giving each other updates on where we were. We weren't waiting for one another. We just went, fuck you, I'm doing this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically, we finished within about a minute and a half of each other.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, hey? And the other thing that got me was the builds weren't the exact same for both of us. They were different. Yeah, they were different cars.
They're basically the same design, but yeah, the instructions were laid out differently for both of them. Yeah.
So I think early on it was like, I'd say to Andrew, are you building, say, the nose section? And he was like, no, I'm building like the wing or whatever at the back. So I found that interesting, but it was good fun. We had so much fun and we were so disappointed that it didn't work. And I kind of kept on having to say, look, we had fun, just focus on that, that it didn't work in terms of recording. It was just a bummer, that's all.
The good news is Freaky's now really keen on doing Lego, so we might have to just do another one.
I'm already looking at something I built. And I've been looking at very expensive shit because...
Are you going to get that Ferrari, the $250 one?
No, and the only reason I haven't is because I'm totally, completely happy with the one I've got that I built. But I was looking at the Millennium Falcon.
You should definitely get that.
The $1,000.
My job here is done. You're looking at the proud owner of the new Lego Millennium Falcon this time next week.
And I looked at it and I'm like, and then there was a cheaper one for about $300, which was smaller, but it had an interior in it. And then I looked at there's all the Star Wars stuff. There was the Mos Eisley Cantina, which is $700. A couple of other ships that I looked at. I like the minifigs though. I think they're really cool, and I always have. So I got one. It's called the Boarding the Tentative 4, which is the scene out of the very beginning out of the original Star Wars movie when Darth Vader comes in. Mm-hmm. So I've got that. I took a picture of it. I should put it up on the Instagram account. Hey, but I've built it out a little bit already, and I've bought more parts for it to build it out even more. So, thanks.
You're welcome. I found a way to stop him from buying websites.
Yeah, websites and 1/6 scale high-end collectibles.
Yep. Once you're done with doing the Lego bit, so this is what you don't realise. I've got you on the website stuff. I've got you on the Lego stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I've done is I've helped train you and get you into the mindset of being able to fix the absolute mess that is the Salford Rugby League Club.
But it'd be easier than fucking smashing Lego because you just look at it and just put it in the dustbin and don't worry about having got rid of anything that's important.
You're welcome. So there you go, Salford. You got a new boss there.
Excellent.
But obviously, multi-millionaire, already has the website for you, knows how to rebuild stuff, and knows about rugby league.
Oh, did you see Super League wants to up the quota, international player quota, to 10?
The what?
You know the player quotas that they have where you can only have like, I think right now it's 7 players from overseas quota.
They're jacking it up to 10.
They want to, yeah. Because that's going to fix everything, haven't you heard?
The other thing I heard was they were thinking about expanding the comp back out to 14 teams again.
Yeah, because that's going to fix everything, haven't you heard? You know who they're going to add?
Bradford.
Oops.
Oldham.
Yeah, I think it was Bradford, and there was Bradford, London, and Toulouse were being talked about.
They won't bring Toulouse in, man. They want France gone.
Yeah, they want for rid of France.
It'll be like East Leeds. Heckman,
can I just say,
Heckman-Wick.
Can I just say, remember all of those? There's not a whole lot of them, but there was like about 2 or 3 British writers who were saying NRL's about to do a deal. They're about to do a deal. They're going to do a deal. It's all but done. They're liars.
It's you know what it is. Is that those writers, they know how bad English Rugby League is. They don't know what the NRL is going to do. So those articles they are wishing. That's all they are. They are wishing beyond wish and belief. Please, NRL, save us. That's what those articles are.
And they write to an audience that wants to hear that, but it's based on nothing. I was saying the whole time, like, it's not real. It's not real.
No,
it's not real.
You know what? The fact that they've got their audience conditioned to wanting to hear that is half the battle, because it means, okay, you've now got their minds open to the idea of changing something. Stop just parroting the whole NRL's going to come and save our ass, and start parroting some actual legitimate change that will help the game over there.
But they can't.
Game over there can do.
But they can't. They haven't got that ability.
No, well, they want the quick fix all the time.
But it's funny, they were reporting it, and it's nothing. It's not real. You know, I found that funny. There was a couple of them I had to. There was one I blocked because they were insane, and there was another one I muted because it was just the same. It was like, this isn't real stuff that's been reported. So, and I found it interesting, and I brought it up at the time, and, you know, down the track, guess what? Nothing happened.
You know.
Like the idea that it's just a couple of people talking behind the scenes. It's like, do you really think that that's how the Australian Rugby League Commission would acquire an entire fucking sport in another country? No, but they've got shareholders.
No, that's how the English Rugby League gets taken over, though. They understand that bit.
They understand how ramshackled it is there, but they
two blokes just having a yak in the shed. Yeah, let's just go get the English Rugby League. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Can you just whip up 10 grand? What for? I've got to fly over.
It was hilarious to watch them all go on about it. It's like, oh, yeah, it's just this guy and he's over here and he's just, it's no one you know of. No names, no one, but it's like, I think the only thing that it was based on is that whenever the English and say Peter V'landys had any interaction, and they'd say, hey, you should buy our sport over here. And Peter V'landys would be like, yeah, maybe I should. You know that voice?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that'd be a really good idea. Holy shit, I just got 31 text messages.
31?
What the fuck?
Wow, what did you just do?
What the fuck?
I mean, should we get you to read them out? I was going to move on to the Formula One section.
Hang on a second. Oh, I think I've got a bunch of text messages. Yeah, I just got, it was like text messages I've got over the last week from some person.
Or just got dumped in at once?
They just got sent again.
Well, yeah, you might have forgot.
That's fucking crazy. God damn. Okay, yeah. So I haven't got any.
See, you know why that's happened. You've had that 5G booster.
Anytime you get 31 text messages, right? That's not someone's died.
No,
that's you are in trouble.
Yeah. So
that's when I looked at it. I was like,
you look at your phone. The first thing you do is you look up at the windows and go, right, shut all the windows.
I was like, I haven't even got anyone to give me in trouble. What the fuck?
Going on?
I was freaking out. I was like, 31 text messages. I haven't done anything that, like, I don't have to explain myself to anyone. What's happening? It scared me.
Fair enough, too.
Damn.
So the big news in Formula One, mate. Christian Horner got the arse.
He did, yeah. I don't know what it is, but and it still hasn't come out. It's funny to see all of the clickbaity Formula One things where they're like, oh, this is happening, that's happening and stuff. Once again, like leaving out the idea that these are corporations that would need to put some of these massive moves to shareholders. Like, oh, you're going to rename the team after Max Verstappen now to keep him there? Yeah, that's something that, you might want to put to shareholders, hey? Like, it's funny seeing those things come up.
Yeah, and so at this stage, even, was it a week later? Mm-hmm. There's still nothing official released anywhere as to why he was sacked. Even Horner himself said no reason was given.
Yeah.
Martin Brundle has suggested that there might have been a few things, but this is just his educated guess.
Yeah.
Because nothing was coming up on the horizon anywhere that this was sort of on the table.
The only thing I can think is that if they had, because it's been a bit rocky there with him and the ownership and that, if they wanted to make the move, now's the time to make it so that the new chief can get involved and start steering the ship where he wants it going into next year with the new regs. But, even then it is a little late. But, yeah, it would come out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, and it might actually just be tied in with the Max Verstappen contract situation because that's up for renewal.
Yeah.
So I think they might be concerned that he could be looking at going to another team.
Mercedes, you keep hearing that a lot, but
which would completely sink Red Bull for God knows how long.
I imagine how much money he would end up getting going to Mercedes. I can't it would have to be close to 200 million a year, something like that.
I think they just say to him, "Look, what we can give you is Germany. We can give you all of Germany."
It's possible.
Yeah, man. There's no chance he's going to any team other than Ferrari or Mercedes because no other team will be able to afford him.
Yeah,
he's not going to Ferrari while they've got Lewis Hamilton there. Not because of any dramas between the two, because I don't think there is really that much, but purely because you can't afford to have Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen on the same team. Yeah,
well, Lewis Hamilton is on one of those like gigantic contracts. It's probably the second biggest in Formula One. And the only way I could see that happening is if Hamilton's like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Because it's not working for him there.
Which Ferrari could actually just force on him given how crap they are with strategy for him at the moment.
Yeah, like he might have a clause in his contract where he has a get-out clause if they don't hit certain performance targets or something. But and then you might get Hamilton going to Red Bull and that opens up Verstappen going to Ferrari. But, I mean, that's a lot of moving parts and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're moving around and, it's very complicated.
It really is. So, it'll be interesting to see because we've still got, I think, another week before the next F1 race. So, there's still a lot of talk going on. I did see that there's rumours galore this time of year. There was one rumour saying that Yuki Tsunoda's on the cusp of getting the arse from Red Bull.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
Yep.
Hey, what did you think about the at the British Grand Prix where the race was being led by a British manufacturer with an Australian driver in it? And at the British Grand Prix, the British stewards made a decision on a British driver needed to be in front of his Australian teammate because of a braking incident behind a safety car, and that was broadcast by British broadcasters. What did you think about all that? Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised by the severity of the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I think Piastri did slow down a little bit too much, but I would have thought 5 seconds would have been enough. I think anytime you give the leading car 10 seconds under a safety car, you are taking the win away from them and making it possible for them to get it back.
Whereas you are, aren't you?
5 seconds, though, that's achievable. He could have made that back. So it felt that penalty felt harsh. I think that, and it ruined a race because if he had been given a 5 second penalty, he got penalised. There's a win. He's not in first, but he was racing better than Norris was. And so he would have caught up to him, and we could have had a good battle at the end.
Yeah, I think it ruined a race depending on your perspective.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean,
yeah.
I don't tend to look at it too much like that because I don't think it was too obvious like that. Because if he hadn't have done anything really bad, like that didn't deserve to be punished, and then he got a 10-second penalty, that would have triggered me to think, well, that's fucked. But I think he did slow down too quickly. And so he did need to get some sort of penalty for that. But I do think the penalty was too harsh. We've seen people run guys off the track and get a 5 second penalty. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
He just bunched the cars up a bit too quick while they were going slow.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have had that as a 5 second penalty at max because he would have caught that back up pretty quickly.
Yeah. I just think it was probably a coincidence that, the British Grand Prix with the British car and the British driver with the British stewards ended up making the decision that they did.
Well, it's true. That's also very, very likely. I mean, I would have liked to have seen, Michael Massey there back as the race director because he would have found a way to make it racy again, just like he did in Abu Dhabi 2021.
We are racing.
Yes.
We are racing. This is a race. Yeah. We are racing. Remember the 2000 Rugby League World Cup ball?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up randomly, that's all.
Have you got one?
No, I tried to purchase one. It was a prototype. I don't even think they had more than one of them. You know what? I'm going to get in touch with someone and see if they would know if there's one around.
I reckon you should see if you can get one somewhere because I reckon that would be cheap as shit. You could put that on display somewhere.
I did buy an 8-panel ball while I was over in England, hey?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It was. It wasn't the Super League one. It was one made by another manufacturer. I can't remember who it was.
Was it Gilbert? Was it?
No, I can't. I just can't remember.
The company that made rugby union footies.
I think they were the ones that made it, but the one I bought, I feel like wasn't one of those ones. Right. I feel like it was like a different company. But that 2000 World Cup ball. What were they thinking? I know what they were thinking. Everyone knows what they were thinking. Idiots.
Yeah.
But, at least every other World Cup they ran after that over there was really good. Oh, wait a minute.
Nice and competitive. Made plenty of money. Great for the game. Shot in the arm, as I would say. Shot in the arm for the sport.
In profit before a ball was kicked.
Yeah. Yeah. In profit, depending.
Another one for 8 years because of it.
All of them made profit if you don't look at the expenses.
Yes. If you were not good with numbers, they made a profit.
Yeah. If you stop looking at the constantly changing balance sheets, or if you add all of the profits together and all of the balance sheets, but not all of the expenses, you'll eventually make a profit.
That's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
You don't look at the expenses.
Yeah, you just got to keep adding up numbers until the number gets bigger than the negative one.
Yeah.
There's ways to do this.
Yeah.
It's not quite marketing. It's not quite tax evasion, but it's somewhere around there. Maybe the RFL needs to send us an email about tax advice.
There's a reason why certain rugby league organisations are not linked into everything, because they can be dissolved if needed.
Yes, this is true. And dissolved is a good thing.
Yeah, it would be good.
Especially if it's not British.
Exactly. On that note, I think we've wrapped this up.
We have indeed. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you check us out on all the socials, everywhere, including the YouTube. Go onto the YouTube, subscribe to us on there, like all the videos. That would be great. And we will catch you all next time.